Welcome, sports bettors, to BetRepublic.com's Quick Hits. Couple plays and analysis on some of the top Week 6 games in the NFL. I'm your host, Sonny Palermo. Thanks for joining us. First up, Battle of the Undefeateds. We got the 5-0 New York Giants at the 4-0 New Orleans Saints. This is the unstoppable force of the number one scoring offense in the league. New Orleans Saints putting up a whopping 36 points per game against the immovable object of the New York Giants' number one defense, giving up a microscopic 104 yards per game. So which one prevails? The G-Men, a perfect 5-0 straight up and against the spread. But do they come in a little bit overconfident maybe off of that soft schedule the NFL gave them with the likes of the Tampa Bay Bucks, Kansas City Chiefs, and the godforsaken awful Oakland Raiders? Or maybe New Orleans a little overconfident after a win against the fake good New York team, Ryan and the Jets. Well, New Orleans off a bye, 0-3 straight up in the 3 years they've had Sean Payton, off a bye this week. But on the other hand, will Giants quarterback Eli Manning's injured heel prove to be the Giants' Achilles? Head coach to head coach, you got Coughlin, 2-2 versus New Orleans, and Payton 1-0 versus Coughlin. And if you remember, Payton at one time served as offensive coordinator under Coughlin. So which coach knows the other's tendencies best? You know, the reputation for the scary offense goes to the Saints. They're supposed to be a premier offense, one that's a scary prospect for opposing defenses to have to face. But New York Giants are second in the NFL in overall total yardage. Either way, this is going to be a great watch come Sunday. My opinion, Saints are high and off a bye. Their offense sputtered in that game against the Jets, and they came back and they won that game because of their defense, scored 2 defensive touchdowns. That's what a team is. They're playing well on both sides of the ball. Giants have yet to face a potent offensive attack. They haven't faced a tough passing attack, and they certainly haven't faced a balanced offense because the Saints are running the ball just as well as they're passing it these days. And the Saints can also play defense. Giants missing 2 starters in their secondary. Coming in, I think those 3 games that they've just played don't serve them well, don't toughen them up. They're experienced, they're pros. They're not a young team, but still, I don't think those 3 games serve them well coming into a rested New Orleans team who's had time to do a little more game prep and pick apart that Giants secondary missing their 2 starters. Peyton Manning, 1 touchdown ahead of, or Eli Manning rather, 1 touchdown ahead of Drew Brees at this point with 1 extra game played. We're going to see that flip-flop after this game. Take the Saints, lay the points. One other game we're going to take a look at, the big Monday night matchup. You know, Denver is playing at San Diego. San Diego right now, 3-point favorite, probably 3 the price, 3.5. Buy this one early. If you do like the Saints, or if you're a typical Joe Public, you're going to end up playing the favorite comes Monday night because you're not going to get it at -3 the price. This will be 3.5, 4. Once again, we find North Turner atop a bunch of underachievers. Who'd have figured? You know, San Diego preseason, biggest, next to New England, the biggest favorite to win their division. Huge price, obviously, over the Chiefs and the Raiders. Denver came in at 5-1. And yet here we are, 5 weeks into the season, and San Diego's 1 game ahead of Oakland in the standings. Think about that. San Diego, 1 game ahead of Oakland in the standings. Okay? They're 3 games out of first place. If they lose this one, they're 4 games out of first. They cannot afford that. We're going to get a chance this week now to see how good Denver's defense is on the road against a top-level opponent. Now, everybody knows Denver has the number 1 scoring defense in the league, giving up just over a touchdown at 8.6 points per game. But how many of you know that they're also the number 5 rated team in total offense? Yep, Kyle Orton and the boys, number 5. And Orton has a higher quarterback rating than Phillip Rivers. Nobody saw that one coming. You know, is it a must-win spot for San Diego? Mathematically, no. But realistically, yes. 4 games out, even this early in the year, is a lot to ask a team to come back from, especially a team that's a bunch of underachievers in the first place, which is, as I meant to say, that's how you got there in the first place, by being a bunch of underachievers. They asked them to all of a sudden turn it on later. 4 games out of first, not a good spot. You know, coming from behind at home in front of a bunch of friendlies, as Denver has done the last 2 weeks with Dallas and then New England, that's one thing. Doing it in hostile territory on the road, that's a whole different ballgame. And asking Orton to continue to play at a level higher than Phillip Rivers is asking way too much. Rivers and the Chargers rested, again, just like the Saints, in a spot with a little bit more time to game prep. Denver coming off 2 great wins at home, but this is the first real test of this team on the road. Denver gets Baltimore next, and then Pittsburgh. Then San Diego has Oakland and Kansas City up next. So we've got San Diego facing Denver, who's in first place. Denver's got Baltimore in Baltimore, and then Pittsburgh at home after that. Okay? So what's going to happen now is this is the time for them to make their move, for San Diego to make the move. Denver's got to go to play Baltimore and Pittsburgh, while San Diego gets the Chiefs and the Raiders. Now's the time for them to make their move on first place. Take San Diego, buy that hook if you have to. Do not lay 3.5 with North on a Monday night or any day. You will regret it. That's it. BetRepublic.com. Quick hits on 2 of the top games this weekend. We'll see you at BetRepublic.com, and we'll see you at BRTV, BetRepublic.com on Sunday. 45 minutes before game time, we'll take you right up to kickoff. Picks and analysis on every game on the board. Thanks for tuning in.